need to. Let's pipe into Mograph TV. You can turn on your Mograph TV.
Oh yes, I can. My computer blue screened this morning, first thing when I opened it, and then I couldn't get it to turn back on, and
Probably
I had issues. Well, it was, and then so I had to take one of my graphics cards out.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but I think honestly, what I think
screen.
it is, I think it's a Discord issue. Because anytime I've got Discord and then After Effects or Cinema 4D open, it's just...
It takes a lot of resources.
Interesting.
It does.
Yeah. All right, we got people filing in. I should put out the bat signal.
What's up, Todd?
Oh, we can see? Should I be pulling this up?
You can if you want. What I normally do is I'll pull up the chat, and then just close down the YouTube.
It. Yeah.
Because whatever you see on Dave's Skype screen is what you see on the YouTube. Yeah.
Cool.
Let's get the
Come on, Office. There we go.
All right.
Wait, how do you pop it out? Oh, wait. Pop out chat. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. All right. Looks like we are good to go here. I'm going to go ahead and...
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Got the live chat.
We got the Facebooks going. We got people popping in. What's up? And I can say that. What up? If I say it 3 times, Windbush appears.
Let's see.
Let's freaking go.
Mograph TV. Wait, that's not Mograph TV. Dang it. That's just...
We got the wrong website?
Well, we've got there we go.
You got the main feed and you got the Mograph TV feed.
Yeah, because the Mograph feed has like the little ticker at the bottom and stuff like that, and powered by render and blah blah blah, all that other stuff.
All right.
Hang on.
Cool. I think we're good to go. If y'all are feeling good,
I'm ready.
Motion
Good over
process.
here.
Motion process
Got
is here.
Moxie.
Dang.
Hello, Motion Process.
I love the
I like your
process.
Instagrams.
Yeah.
Shout out.
You got my Monster Energy. I'm good to go. I'm amped.
Yeah.
Got the water.
My tum-tums ain't feeling the Monster Energy drink this morning, so...
Or
my tum-tum.
That would probably
tum-tum
not get well right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. All right. Here we go.
City boys.
Just hold on one second.
Every time.
Andy. I miss you, Andy. All right, here we go. What's up and welcome to another Mograph Mocast. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt, and joining us today, super excited to have him here. You know him as Patrick 4D, Mr. Patrick Foley.
What's going on? What up?
And Mograph is a supplement to our site, mograph.com, which is a motion graphics tutorial site with tutorials, plugins, podcasts, and other Mograph stuff. And on the show, we talk about everything ranging from motion graphics to Cinema 4D, After Effects, plugins, render engines, doing business, doing taxes, being a contractor, or working for the man. You can email us info@mograph.com. Let us know what you think about the show. Questions, comments, concerns, queries, grievances, artist suggestions, show topic ideas. We are on all the things. You can see us on all the things. We are mostly, though, on iTunes, YouTube. Check us out there. We are at Mograph. If you'd like to see us on YouTube, if you go to mograph.com, mograph.com/live, you can check us out there.
Sign up for the newsletter. We got exciting things coming up here in the coming months.
Yes, you can see the schedules.
Announcements and such.
Yes.
And neat things.
Yes.
You'll definitely want to be a part of that.
A little week wrap-up stuff here, or 2-week wrap-up, I guess. First of all, we didn't have a show last week. Apologies. We were all set to go, except the audio didn't work.
Yeah.
For either of us.
Dave
Never
updated
does.
his system. Just
Yeah.
like, he always says not to.
Right.
And he did.
So here's basically the issue in a nutshell, okay? Wanted to try Unreal 5.1, right? Uninstall that, let it go forever. Do the package install. It won't launch from the Epic launcher, just because reasons. So then I get it running, and then it has to, start a new file and compile for like 8 days,
Right.
you do.
Right.
Then it says that I do not have DirectX 12, but I did have DirectX 12. So I do some digging, realize I also need to update my drivers, my NVIDIA drivers, which also required me to update my Windows as well. So I update that. My NVIDIA drivers made 2 of my monitors not work anymore because it re-enabled SLI. So about the end of the day, I got all of that back and everything was working. And 4 or 5 days go by and we go to do a show and it had reset all my audio drivers to some weird thing where every microphone in the room, like my Elgato, my webcam, this microphone, my Oculus Rift, anything that was connected to it with a microphone was all piping in at the same time. Could not fix it. I was a little pissed about that. But we're good.
Wow.
We got audio. We're going to have a good time.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we got a couple updates on events. There's a lot of event stuff going on this year, so I hope you're ready.
So many this year. So many.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The first thing is that the tour. We're not going to really talk too much about it, but we have mentioned that there will be a Mograph tour coming. And so we will have more information on that later, but NAB is coming fast. And we have the promo code here. If you want to get your ticket for free for the exhibition pass, use the code LV6739. And we'll probably end up doing one of those little things with EJ again where we talk about what to do at NAB. Don't
pay for your NAB ticket. Just use that code.
Yes.
It's free?
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah,
Use
exhibition stuff only.
Yes.
So you get to go see. But that's where all the big important stuff is. That's where you get to get dirty with your hands and try out all the stuff and watch presentations. It's good stuff.
Yeah. So we'll be talking about that a little bit later. We are going to do a karaoke event. There will not be a limo event. There will be a karaoke event.
Yeah.
And so we're working on plans. What's that?
What about like the party bus?
Yeah, it got a little out of hand.
So last year we did like 5 limos.
5 Homer limos.
And the thing is, I think we're gonna do it differently this year. Instead of like what we're talking about, this is not set in stone. We're talking about doing it on Monday night instead of Tuesday after the karaoke party, because Monday nights it just means everyone actually gets to bed at a decent time instead of staying up till 2.
Yeah, we're starting karaoke at 11 p.m. So
so
it's Vegas.
It is Vegas.
Yeah. But we have to be at the booth at like 8 a.m. So
Okay, see that? Okay, it's that part.
Yeah. So that's coming. Also, there was a camp announcement this last week.
Yes. Let's get through that camp announcement because my tummy ain't feeling too good. Sorry. Camp Mograph 2023. Super excited about that. For those who haven't heard, we're going for a space theme this year. We're doing space ranch camp. It will be September 14th through 18th in Elbert, Colorado. Which, for those who don't know, Elbert is, I think it's like in between Colorado Springs and Denver. So technically, you could fly into either one, but the shuttle bus that we're talking about doing will be going from Denver. So plan on that. Tickets will go on sale April 20th.
Blaze it.
Blaze it. Oh, we don't have that on the website about what day tickets go on sale.
Uh-oh.
We should put that on there.
Yeah, that's not a secret.
Anyway, tickets go on sale at, I believe it's noon Eastern time on April 20th. Yeah. So, be prepared. If you're going to NAB and you're staying till Thursday, just make sure that you're ready at a computer because these things will sell out fast.
Yes.
So it's during NAB?
It's it's the day that a lot of people are flying back. So it's like Wednesday's the last day of NAB. Thursday is when our sale is. So
what's up with that NAB?
The flight.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
So
we're gonna stay in Vegas to wait for the sale.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
So Elbert, it's going to be the foothills of the flatlands. It's going to be not in the mountains, like up in the mountains, but kind of like, the flatter part. But there are, mountains in the background and lots of forest and all of the things. So, anything else on camp before we...
Man, we got so much cool stuff. We've got so much cool stuff. If you're a brand out there and you're looking to sponsor the event, feel free to hit us up, info at campmograph.com. And so, gonna have some. We've got some really fun stuff planned. Already talking to instructors. Already talking to to fireside chat speakers and stuff. Lots to do. Lots to do.
I like fun stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
That sounds chill.
Yeah, we'll have some more announcements. The space thing is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's much to say about this, but I figure it's worth a mention. The Beeple grand opening coming up as well.
Yeah. So that was announced, I think, last week. Beeple is doing his grand opening of Beeple Studios in South Carolina. If you are a Beeple NFT holder, you get a free ticket. Or if you're like me and you sold yours for a lot of money, you don't get a free ticket, which is a shame. But you can get a free ticket by submitting some of your work. It has to go in by the 1st of February, so that's 2 days from the day of this podcast right here. So go to beeple-studios.xyz.
XYZ. Got to get that right. There's a lot of
beeple-studios.xyz. Yeah, and then you can find the submit artwork link. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be very cool. I'm going to submit some artwork, even though I know Beeple personally, and he's been on the show,
Bragger.
and he's our good friend. He should give me a ticket for free, but I wouldn't expect that, because, whatever.
It's a lot of people. You know how it is with camp.
He doesn't listen to the show.
He owes it to you.
Yeah, he doesn't owe me squat, dude.
Cool. Well, let's week wrap-up's done. Let's get to you, Patrick.
What an intro. How do you guys remember all that? Wow. It's impressive.
I mean, you do it 358 times.
Yeah, for 2.5 hours.
It eventually becomes muscle memory.
Big facts.
So, let's talk about all things you. First of all, in a nutshell, what do you do? What's your elevator pitch?
I would say I don't even know if I've given one. Wow. I would say I'm a 3D artist focusing mainly on digital ad work these days, but originally coming from the film world, doing like DP directing stuff. Cool. So I think that's kind of my main thing. Like, used to be film guy, went to school for film, and now I'm like 3D guy doing a bunch of stuff that I used to do in person, but just digitally now.
Doing a ton of ZBrush stuff too.
Yeah.
Right?
In the past 2 years, that's actually, I feel like, relatively to my 3D career, that's been like a relatively newer thing with the past 2 or 3 years, and that stuff's definitely taken off. Like, I hardly do anything in cinema these days besides like light and texture.
Yeah. I think I started following you on Instagram when you were doing all the Chad renders.
Oh no.
Like
the botched characters.
Yeah. I loved them. They were great.
Yeah. I got
and
a
then
really
you moved
weird
over.
thing. Yeah.
You moved over to the food stuff, and I was really excited about the food. And I started seeing you on TikTok, and I was like, okay, I gotta follow this guy. I gotta get to know this guy.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right.
I kept wanting a Mexican pizza, but then you've moved on to other things.
Yeah, we got to cross paths during the right series, but we'll get it going. I guarantee it.
I've been doing. Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I've been doing the. I've had if you go down my Instagram, which is, I guess I would say, where I do most all my work, for people to see, it's such a weird thing because I'll be switching series so drastically.
Yeah.
And I feel like people, when you pick a style, you tend to stick there, unless you're like a generalist and you do a little bit of everything. But I mean, depending on when you started following me in my career, like, you will find the most drastically different stuff, really polished and clean, disgusting and like horrifying, or just all the above. So that's kind of been the thing. I don't really separate them. Once I stick with the theme, I'm like right there. But if I'm switching series, they're usually pretty drastic. Right now I'm on the food
How
stuff.
long have you been in cinema? And you're an Octane guy, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
How long have you been using, cinema and Octane and stuff? Because I gotta say, your renders are super photoreal. Like
appreciate it.
And that's the one thing that I really appreciate about your work. Getting some of this stuff to look photoreal, especially food, is hard.
Right. Yeah, dude, I totally, I think, so I started when I was in film school. I went to SCAD Atlanta, Savannah College of Art and Design.
Okay.
Got a film degree, but midway through my sophomore year, so that was probably...
You're still paying those student loans, gotcha.
The 2 years I was, 2 years into school, I stumbled upon this program, Cinema 4D, only because they had the programs at the editing bay. And for no other reason. Like, they had a motion media, I think it was motion media design was the Cinema 4D-ish degree there, but midway through, stumbled upon it, was in the middle of film stuff. Immediately, like the first time I picked it up, made like an Instagram for it, and I'm like, didn't really put too much thought into the name, Patrick 4D, Cinema 4D, and started posting really abstract stuff, because that's all you can't really be wrong when you're abstract. You're just making random stuff, and you're just you're lighting it. But my edge immediately became, I think, with the lighting and texturing before I could model or sculpt or anything like that. Because I knew how to light and stuff in the real world. That's you're placing these heavy ass lights, and the reason why I liked it so much is because you don't have to like hire gaffers, electric people, and like move these heavy lights, people breaking shit. But you could just do it. I'm like, oh, well, if I just put like a really large soft box really close, you're gonna get like soft shadows and stuff. It works the same way. So that was like, to answer your question, probably 2016 is when I started cinema using only the physical renderer, like the baked in like CPU render, waiting like 7 hours a frame. But at that point I was like, that's what I'm comparing it to, like how
just doing a frame, right?
I was comparing it to doing like a full photo shoot. So I'm like, it's faster than that. So it works. That was that.
It's true. Yeah, and it's true. Food is so hard, and especially if you're trying to please a client. I worked on a Snickers thing last year, and like the bits of nougat had to be perfect, and you know what I'm saying, like the perfect shade and the subsurface scattering of like the caramel or whatever the heck is in the middle of it. It just has to be. People are so
sleep
particular.
On the nougat. People really sleep on the nougat.
Yeah. Yeah. Now you post some of these that are like mixes of different things, right? Like, so like in TikTok, someone will say, mix this with this. I don't know what's a good example of that? What's one of your favorites?
With the food stuff, probably like, it was like Twix and Pop-Tart, which was like a fun little shape. And it's just like reimagining a new food instead of like remaking them to a T, taking elements of the Twix, taking elements of the Pop-Tart, and what that would look like. So like Pop-Tart textured, and then the shape clearly resembles Twix. And of course you got like the caramel in there. I feel like that'd be kind of good too. And also the trick is making sure not only does it like a perfect mix, but it's like, oh, that's something that kind of would taste good.
Yeah, it looks like the animal cookies. I think you actually made some of the animal cookies.
Oh, I did. I think it was,
there you go. Yeah, the animal cookies mixed with the Twix with the pink frosting. I think that would be really good.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, totally. It's endless possibilities of these. That's what makes them so fun. It's like, it got to a point because with this specific series, instead of just focusing on one brand, it's like, all right, we got to knock out 2 brands and make them good. We were spending more time on the Discord, like just trying to figure out the mix than actually making the thing. Like making them would only take like an hour or something like that.
Right.
And I like spend like 45 minutes trying to figure out what to make. I'm like, nah, that wouldn't be good. We did that. We did that. So many.
You just moved over to a brand, but delicious, right?
What do you mean?
Is that what it is? Is that what you're doing now?
Designer. It's like, now I'm doing designer brands, but making them like tasty.
Yes.
So today I did Dior, and I guess took inspiration from like a Crunch Bar.
I saw the Nutty Buddy. or Nutter Butter.
Oh yeah,
You did
yeah.
the Chanel
Sure.
one the other day, Chanel but tasty. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, he's gonna turn this into a pretzel. And it wasn't a pretzel.
Oh, yeah.
I was really sad that it wasn't a pretzel. But I mean,
Right.
your render looked way better than what,
Appreciate
I
it,
was
man.
thinking. But yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, no, this one's definitely fun because instead of actually remaking the snack and having to follow by those guidelines, it's just following the brand, and then I kind of get to make my own snack at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had brands come to you because they've found you,
That was my next question.
through this?
Mhm.
You know, I
Yeah,
mean, I can
totally.
imagine because the food looks so good and the food looks so
Yeah.
Right.
photo real that it's like, okay, we need someone to create a, a magazine ad or something. You know, I
Right.
would assume that you would be the first person I go to, you know.
Appreciate it, man. No, yeah, obviously that's like, I think the goal when anyone's posting like any type of content on social media. This, I mean, relatively speaking, the food stuff in general, I feel like has only been like a few months now with regards to like the stuff I've been doing my whole 3D career.
Yeah.
So, but it is crazy. I mean, without breaking too many NDAs, like I am in the middle of a few right now, kind of like global food restaurant type stuff.
That's why
And
you're
so
not
that's
doing
been-
my Mexican pizza, huh?
the Mexican Pizza Company Inc.
Yeah.
But no, it's really, it has turned into a bunch of stuff that is kind of on a bigger wavelength, because I feel like these food companies too, they definitely have budgets for stuff. It's not like singular clients that are like, hey man, I'm trying to build, like, come on, like work with me here. It's less of that kind of work. So these days I'm definitely doing less volume of projects, but the projects tend to be like a little bit higher tier. So and taking longer time. So that's been really nice for sure.
That's
And I think
ideal.
I think I definitely found a niche where, like you said, I think people have a hard time making food kind of really shine and look not only realistic but like tasty, and also making it look kind of commercial ready at the same time, and also making these in like an hour or two. So
Yeah.
that's
Just
I
don't
think
tell the
the
client
niche
you do it in
been
an
able to-
hour or two.
Right. Well, this isn't going to be like for the public, right? This is just like internal
Yeah,
use.
it's just us.
This is just for us.
No one's
three.
watching.
It's our own personal
Right,
podcast.
exactly.
For the three of us.
Like on the one with the Nutter Butters, you do the case and everything else. Are you doing the modeling of the case and everything in ZBrush, or are you just doing that in Cinema?
Literally everything.
Wow.
And that's a part. If I would have told myself like even a year ago that to the extent I'm taking ZBrush, I would have probably not believed it. Like, you think of ZBrush, you're like, oh, you're like sculpting a character, like a monster or something like that,
Yeah.
and you got like different subdivision levels. This is, I mean, their hard surface tools like ZModeler are like so slept on.
Yeah.
Poly groups, and it makes it super easy, and it really just was just mucking and grinding it with it and figuring out how to use like a pen. Because that's another thing I feel like is super. If you can get past ZBrush's UI and
Yes.
the pen and how to use stuff, like you're golden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really impressed when they were showing off some of the hard surface stuff at NAB last year, because it's the first time that ZBrush was with us, so we were seeing a lot of this stuff for the first time. I was like, man, that hard surface modeling, man. So
crazy.
you talked about in school, you kind of like discovered it, where did you kind of go from there? Did you do any video? Did you end up doing video stuff for a while, or did you just find this and run with it?
Yeah, so I was doing video work. I mean, my whole college existence, I was like the video guy. Like I went for film, and even before college and high school, went to school in Chicago, Hinsdale Central, kind of like 15 minutes west of the city. And same kind of thing, sophomore year of high school, found like my film niche, and was like, ooh, I like doing this. I got a camera, or my mom got me this like little DSLR camera that I was originally doing like realtor videos with and like photography.
Nice.
And for a little bit, I was like that guy that was like following my friends around when we were playing like sports out in the park, like taking action shots. And I just thought that was really fun. And then that translated to one of my buddies knew this local rapper who was making music, and everybody in the town kind of knew him. So I did a little free music video. Actually, I think I charged him, or tried to charge him $50, and he was like, I don't get this. I was like, all right, whatever, I'll do it. So the budgets have to increase. But I was doing so many like rap, hip hop music videos. Probably shot close to like 60, 70 before even getting to like college. And I was just like,
Jeez.
run and gun, like doing the, taking the train to the city, doing the shoots, making a couple $100 here and there. And it filmed, I got like lighting equipment and stuff. And then I went to SCAD, pretty much like flexed on the film stuff. And it wasn't until sophomore year SCAD that I started getting into 3D. So from then on until the end of college, I was doing a little bit of 3D, a little bit of film. And when I graduated, I had like 50% film work coming in, 50% 3D. But the 3D stuff I was getting paid the same amount pretty much, but for so much less work and time.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can't ignore that this is going to be like some kind of career path at this point.
Yeah.
Right.
It's so interesting to me, especially like because I went to the Art Institute and I went for video as well,
Right.
But it's like
Nice.
I really enjoyed the editing part because I started off in high school doing editing and shooting, and I really liked the editing. I got into After Effects, then wanted to make 3D titles, and that's when I moved over to 3D. And what's funny is like, because After Effects or the Art Institute has a full 3D program. And that I was like, oh no, I don't want to do that. I'll never wrap my head around the 3D stuff, but it's like,
Yeah,
now that's my career,
exactly. Definitely. Same shit.
Yeah.
Tell us about your social media stuff. You have quite a following. I know a lot of people, when they're doing social, they'll say like pick a platform as a base platform, right? It doesn't mean that you're not posting on all of them. Obviously, you're posting on Reels and on TikTok. Do you choose one as a base and say, okay, this is my main one, and I'm going to post a copy over here, or vice versa? And tell us a little bit about that. I don't know. I don't remember exactly how many followers you have on TikTok. I know it's a lot.
TikTok was definitely a newer thing. I think almost 10K on TikTok. So to answer your question, definitely the base was always Instagram. And this, obviously, I started posting way before TikTok was even a thing.
Right.
And even before video was a thing on Instagram, or Reels especially. And so I started posting just singular photo renders. I think I started posting just like the classic square. And then we went to like the 1200 by 1500 aspect ratio. That seemed to work for like the vertical stuff. And that's been really the sauce until Reels came out. That's when I started really getting like, I remember kind of seeing it as a drag. I'm like, do I have to really post like video content now? Like I do like photos.
Yeah.
Like how's that gonna work? I don't even really animate that much. And so I realized, I'm like, okay, well maybe I could start doing like, I can still post the photos and the still renders, but let's make it a little bit more interactive, maybe show my face, all that stuff. That seemed to do pretty well. And it became this thing where each thing was almost like a mini music video because I'm cutting it with the music and stuff. And I guess more film influence doing music video stuff.
Right.
So that's, again, just with like the transitions and stuff, making these things a little bit, because I think a lot of artists post kind of like before or after and like see what works with the Reels audios. But if you can make it like really engaging and almost like a music video, I think that's been kind of the thing that people like. So you get a little bit of your face in there. It's definitely not too long. You get the final product. It's still a still. And picking audios that are trending and stuff. And I think that's kind of like the secret sauce and making things go viral every once in a while.
And are you doing one every day?
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
So you're doing a new render every day, even on the weekends?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, every day. Yep. Unless I'm like traveling or sick or something, but every single day.
Yeah.
Yep.
So-
That's amazing.
And I do them every day live on Discord.
Yeah. I've been to a few of them. They're great.
Yeah, that's the
It's
thing. Like I started my own TikTok account, and I just did a little push, and just like for this amount of days, I'm going to post every day just to start getting this thing going. And man, it is so much work. It is so much to stay on top of that.
It is definitely a thing. It's definitely, and I know I have friends that they're like, I'm not, like, I didn't go viral. They'll post like a TikTok or a reel once every like week or 2 weeks or something like that. And I think you're really, even though it is a lot of work, and you can get discouraged by, putting all this work into something and it's not going viral, you're not getting the buzz that you wanted. To me, it's like if you're buying a bunch of lottery tickets, or if you just buy one lottery ticket, you don't win it. There's almost no chance you're gonna win. If you buy like 100 lottery tickets, you're gonna win one that's like a 20,000 or maybe like a 50,000 or something. Like, but you're just increasing the chances of something hitting.
Right.
So, and you're just gonna get better just by doing so much more content and work on every facet.
Right. And you kind of start feeling the formula too. I think you can find your niche. Like if you don't have yours, you know, you can really see what works. But tell us about the disc. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just saying to go off that too. Like, it's also a misconception to think like slaving away, putting like, you know, 10 hours a day on like the dailies and reels. I think like the dailies at this point, just because I've gotten so used to the process, they'll be like an hour and a half maybe for the full render, and then to make the reel maybe like 15 minutes max, 10, 15 minutes. So it's not a long process. It's really,
you got yourself a pretty good template going on, I'm assuming too, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's not even like a template like project file. It's really just like, okay, I'll fill my screen a couple times. I just know what like motions work, and then I cut it into this app that I use called Splice.
Yep.
And then it's pretty much, then you just bump it out and you post it.
Someone says ask you about Blender users.
Love Blender users. I'm an avid Blender. I use Blender every day for my renders.
I heard it's free.
No.
What?
Well, yeah, one of my buddies on the Discord, I forgot who it was. Is it Raven? He might have he's got like a 50% discount on Blender or something.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hit that up later.
Have to grab that.
Oh, yeah.
So I was going to ask you about the editing. So you do edit with Splice, and then do you find that like you have to put in like a little bit of text or something in TikTok for it to pick up more traction and see a word that it can, you know, because you hear all these rumors like, oh, if you don't post any text and you're just posting videos, the algorithm suppresses it, all that kind of crap, you know?
I've heard all that stuff, and I don't think I'm goated enough in TikTok to like fully have the answer to that, but I can tell you when I started, I was doing the botched renders, or like it was the Chad versions of the characters. And those ones, I don't know if it was the content or how I was posting them or whatever, but those ones, you know, some of those got like 600K, 800K maybe, I'm not even sure. And so they immediately went pretty viral off the bat. And I've heard the same thing about like audios, because right now I'm kind of I'm taking the reels and then doing a little bit of a different twist and like the caption and stuff and trying to finesse it there. So I don't know if it's as crazy as like the algorithm going brazy or whatever for those little minute things. I've heard that too. I think everybody gets real conspiracy theory about it.
Right. You do that thing where you write some text and then you push it off the screen, you know, so it still is there, but it's not. And like,
I heard if you type "please go viral," push it off the screen, it'll actually go viral.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna try that. We'll see. But tell us about the Discord too.
Dude, the Discord is crazy. That's been the newest, honestly, life-changing change in my like daily activity lately. And I think so. I made this Discord, didn't know anything about it before, and I had a few people, Cellular included, this guy on my Discord. He was like, dude, you got to make a Discord. I can't remember his name or if it was someone else, but I had a few people reach out to me saying, you got to make a Discord. I didn't know anything about it other than, it's what like Twitch streamers use, or that's like a gamer thing. I didn't really know anything about it. And so I made one eventually, maybe 6 to 8 months ago, and kind of just treat it as like another hub, like, I made a channel for like asset drops I do, or like this or whatever. But again, it was pretty dry. I wasn't really on it too much. Got some people on it, posted it on Instagram. And it wasn't until like, I want to say like 2 months ago, even though it feels like a year ago, that I really got into it and started adding like these active voice channels and like these places where I can stream. That's another reason. When I was streaming, I had gone through phases of streaming in YouTube and then streaming on Instagram. And Instagram was always like kind of a finesse, and it was always botched because I was going through like OBS to like Yellow Duck, and it was just I don't know. That may have even shadow banned me a few times. Who knows? But
they don't make it easy.
They don't. And I heard Instagram to select users, you can actually stream through Instagram, like live. I was never able to do that, but so I started streaming on Discord every day, and then people started rolling in. And I think right now we just hit 1,500 members on Discord, but it's become this thing where, usually I'll be playing music or working on stuff or FaceTiming people on my own end. And now it's this thing where I'll be hopping in, from the daily streams to this channel called like Chill Zone or Work Mode, and I'll be working in there and then just chopping it up with the guys in there that are literally like friends at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like it brings me back to when I was in art school. Like we'd be working on projects, like different projects, but like you're talking to people and you're getting like fed with like the creative energy, and you're just vibing out with people, shooting the shit. So that's been the main thing. And it's, we got like a showcase, people get to share their work and post. And the way we set it up, my guy Batty, who helped me set it up, he's the moderator in it. He's helped me add a bunch of like role things. So depending on what software you use, that's how you're going to be tagged. Oh, I'm a Cinema user, Blender user, and currently we kick the Blender users and just ban them. But we're working on getting them back on. Yeah, right. For sure.
Yeah.
Nope, it's fun, man. It's crazy. It's become this crazy new addition to the lifestyle and like the work process.
Well, we have a big Slack, but we don't have a very big Discord. But the people who are in our Discord are like, they're
staples.
Quality. Yeah, we
quality.
stay on every day, and it's so nice to have that companionship of your buddies to, you know. And sometimes, you got to just mute and do your thing. But sometimes, I'll have it muted, but I leave it up because, I don't feel lonely.
Exactly.
So
yeah, totally. It's like this. You got people. Let's check this guy's stream out. Let's see what he's working on. And like, if you're like, oh wait, how did you get that? How'd you do that? And people are super open about like sharing the process or whatever. And it's like this like hub of just inspiration for the most part.
Cool. I love the chat, and whenever we talk about Blender. See, here's the thing about Blender is we love Blender too. Even though we're cinema people, we want to spread that community feel though. We want to spread that community feel that comes with Maxon Cinema 4D that we love into all of it, into everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that energy is
Blender,
incredible.
Maya, 3ds Max, Houdini. We want them all. We want this community.
Right.
Because we're all 3D artists.
Exactly.
There shouldn't be this hate because one is better than the other or whatever.
There shouldn't be this hate because cinema's better. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. Like, well, and they get that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but I think even coming from the film industry, I've seen such a it is so not cutthroat, and like at least in my experience, being in the film world, meeting film people, and no shade on like the film world, but like. People are just much more competitive, I feel like, in the film world than I've seen on like the 3D level. People are I learned 3D because I was able to find a bunch of content like Grayscale Gorilla and stuff like that on YouTube. And, so I literally have a career because it started with people handing out information for free.
Right.
Doing that. So that, even just a little bit why I like do the streams in the morning and stuff. And it's just crazy. And I think that the banter between like the C4D and the Blender, all that stuff, I'd used Blender before. And even that banter, it's like, it's taken as so much less of a serious, like, like, fuck you guys. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, so like, it's actually like, we're just shooting the shit.
Yeah. Sage, who is the moderator of the C4D subreddit, he comes from a very big architecture background. And years ago we were talking about this, and he's like, the thing about architecture world is somebody figures out how to do something, they're not going to tell anybody. Like they're like, no, this is my secret.
But that was a big thing like early on in my career,
like 3D Max people.
Well, like even with After Effects users, like, the studio that I worked at when I was working my way up to senior After Effects person guy, it's like
senior
I used
keyframe
to try,
user.
Right. I tried asking, hey, how do you do this? And he goes, I won't tell you. I'm not going to tell you. It's job security. And I'm like, okay, so if I wanted to learn, and the thing is, back when I was starting, because I'm an old man now, there wasn't a lot of YouTube tutorials.
Right.
You know, it wasn't until the Grayscale Gorillas and the Video
Andrew
Copilots came
Kramer,
around that it was like, okay, now I can learn how to track something. I can learn how to whatever, you know. I
Right.
can learn some compositing things. I don't have to just figure out how to green screen on my own.
Yeah, I've
know?
always heard it's better for the
Right.
whole too. Or I've always felt like it's better for the whole, right? You know, we all lift each other up and we all get better together, which is our slogan, get better together. Oh, I know what else I wanted to touch on was the daily stuff in the Discord as well. So is this
Wait, what
so,
about
so do other people participate in doing like a render off or a I think that's what I jumped
Yes,
into the
so
other day.
Oh, so yeah, so the days start off they'll be in the daily live stream, which is where I'll do the streams, kind of like the tip off the day, with like some streaming there. So I'll make my daily, and then we'll all hop into chill zone or work mode, and that's where people just like stream their thing or just like talk or chill or whatever. And then we're trying to figure out this next thing, which is I think where you guys slipped in a couple times, which is we can't tell if it's like a Thursday or Sunday or every other Thursday or Sunday we'll have like a render challenge. It's like it'll be a fun thing where I'll come up with on the time of the event when we're all chilling there. All right, let's do a space themed food. And that's the one that you were in, right?
Yeah, that's the one that we did. Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be a space themed food. And I say it last minute so people can't mentally prep for it. And it's kind of more fun, like, shit. Like I wasn't prepped for this. And then we all stream our screen too. So nobody's going crazy, but it's a fun thing. So it doesn't matter what render engine, what software. Some people even do Illustrator. Shout out Damien, purple background. Yeah, it's that's pretty much the vibe. We're trying to do more of those. They're really fun.
See, what you should do is hit up some of these companies, you know, and be like, hey, are you willing to sponsor a render challenge?
Ooh.
You know, because then there can be prizes as well.
See, Schmoozy Matt knows all the
Schmoozy
secrets.
Matt knows all about the sponsorships.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe I can do you get like a free copy of Blender or something.
Right,
Oh,
exactly.
yeah.
I mean,
You're
those
right.
things are going for
Thought of that.
a pretty penny. So.
And you win a blender as well.
It's like an orange themed blender. It's just like that's the only difference.
I told you you'd win blender. I didn't tell you what kind of blender.
What kind?
Yeah.
Right. And I didn't say it would work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's just a blender.
Yeah.
But it's Blender 2.7. I think.
yeah.
Yeah, that was before the
that was
that was
right
before-
before like the
before the UI.
I know
update.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all that was the meme too. Have you seen Blender 2.8?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you streaming on? Have you done any streaming on Twitch as well?
So I have a Twitch account and I've been on Twitch a few times, but I have not gotten past like a small little test stream. And I think it's really just because like I've had a million people tell me, dude, why are you not on Twitch? Like you'd be killing on Twitch or this and that. And I think I just like don't want to have 50 different platforms that I have to manage on a regular basis.
Right.
I think that's really it. Whether or not that's
Restream,
the right move.
have you? Do you know about Restream?
Not by name.
So Restream will allow you to basically pipe in a stream and send it to Facebook and YouTube and Twitch and everything all at once.
We do that too, but
we do that. Yeah.
But nobody's
Is that an easy setup thing? Is that easy to set up?
It's pretty easy to set up. Yeah.
Yeah. You just stream to Restream, and then that pipes it all out to all the things.
See, and I think with Twitch especially, I feel like you would do well on Twitch because you do a scheduled time basically every day, you know?
Right.
And then you'd get the people who are getting into their office and being like, let me hit up Twitch or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
Are there like time zones that are, or not time zones, but are there certain times like all these guys on Twitch, if they're into this stuff, are like late night? I think that's been my main thing too. Like I feel like so many people would probably tune in more if I was doing like the 9, 10 to like midnight streams or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's probably analytics on that somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of hard for, I think, for artists to use a gaming platform. You know, like Rocket Lasso has huge traction on Twitch, but I don't see that many 3D people. I don't know. But
maybe I got to tap into that industry.
There you go. Be on the forefront of it. Get
I
all
last
the
time.
users, all the viewers.
Yeah.
That's Chris Schmidt, right? Rocket Lasso.
Yeah.
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 Dude, he's goated. That guy's like a machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. That and Mike Pavlovich, that guy. Is that how you say his name? I think it's.
I don't know
he's
him.
really good at ZBrush. He's the ZBrush guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are some of your influences then? Like, who are some of the artists that you like to check out?
I would say so. They started pretty much exclusively with Beeple and Hoodass.
Yeah.
Those guys, even before I started 3D, I'd seen their work. I don't know how they popped up, but they popped up.
I'll be right back, guys. Sorry.
And got you. And it was like Beeple and Hoodass, and I would see these guys posting this stuff, and it was like, dude, this stuff looks incredibly real. Like these environments, the fact that they're able to portray such scale by putting these like little. It's the first time I saw like putting the little humans next to like these gigantic objects, and then you're left up to interpret what could be going on here. I thought that was so cool.
People's people.
It's like looks like exactly,
Yeah.
and it just looks like something that is like from like a sci-fi movie, or it's like, yeah. And sometimes he'd have fun with it. I'd be like, what could I would have so much fun just going over what potentially is going on here. What's like the background in this whole piece.
Right.
And I think that started a whole wave of like, I mean, look at so many people that post stuff now, and whether it's Cinema, Blender, whatever. A lot of it, they're using that rubric of just these really crazy scaled environments with like people in them for scale. And
Yeah,
it's
person
like,
for scale.
those were the first times I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we had a segment that we did years ago called Beeple's People, and it was one of those things where like you either loved the segment or you hated the segment. And we would take stuff from that week and we would try and tie all of these things together. So he may make like obviously 7 different things a week, but we would try and tie our favorite ones of the week into like this big massive story. You know, like the little Beeple's People person. I think the story was that he was traveling to different universes to try and find the original Earth or something. But yeah, there was always a little person, so we called him that little guy. That's Beeple's People.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it started so many different, like, it's like a chain reaction of different series, people like making spin-offs of stuff. That was dope. As far as like recent inspiration, I feel like I'm not on Instagram, or I feel like I've done an okay job not being on Instagram and TikTok and stuff, unless I'm like posting stuff. So I think I don't really have anyone that I'm like thinking off the top of my head that I'm like, oh, I gotta check out this guy's work every single day. I think maybe I did a lot of that at the beginning, and found inspiration for stuff and learned how to do different techniques and stuff. And then once I got off the training wheels, I think at this point I'm pretty honed in, and at this point I'm like literally going to my own Instagram page for inspiration of like certain stuff. So I'm like, okay, I made that food last time. How can I twist this and make this my own? So I'm like, at a certain sense, I'm like taking inspiration from myself sometimes. And yeah, I mean, I feel like there's not a ton of 3D render artists in and of itself. I feel like,
Because it's so tough,
it's a niche.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. I think I feel that same way about tutorials sometimes. Like, I don't feel like I have enough time to like sit down and watch tutorials anymore. I might bookmark one if I'm like, oh, that's something I might need to know. But yeah, you kind of reach a threshold where you're like, okay, I understand how to do the things. Now I just have to make it look good,
Yeah, exactly. It's like I feel like it's learning a language. It's like once you get to a point where you're like pretty fluent, you can kind of like pretty much guess the next things you're gonna say, or like you don't got to think about it anymore. You're running. You're honed in.
And of course, that thing happens too, where if you're online looking at other people's stuff too much, you really start to get the imposter syndrome, the FOMO, all the things start setting in. You're like, man, everybody's so good. I feel discouraged now.
Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, that's like what people say when they tune into like ArtStation, right? They're looking at all those crazy characters and like character artists and texture artists, and they're like, damn.
Yeah.
It's like, especially if you're starting out, that's going to discourage you so much, I feel like.
Oh, big time. Big time.
Maybe some inspiration, but also it can be discouraging. So just being able to stay in your own lane and only kind of going off of your own progress instead of being like, "Damn, nowhere near this good yet," you know? And I think people can get bogged down doing that sometimes.
Yeah, I like to call it putting the blinders on, you know?
Right.
Because if you have an idea and you just start doing what everybody else likes, it's not really your thing anymore, you know? So it's like, if you let too much, I mean, even with TikTok, Instagram, Reels, all of that stuff, if you start being too concerned with, you know, what is TikTok gonna like, then I don't,
Exactly.
you know, it's kind of weird. I mean, I know there are some artists out there that's what they do. You know, like, hey, I'm a TikTok artist and I post loops every day. You know, that's cool. That's got its place, I guess. But yeah, how do you keep things fresh like that? And how do you come up with new ideas?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I think there's certain things, you know, part of just staying relevant, you got to take a little bit of the trends, which is why if I'm making like a reel, I'm picking audios that are already trending. It's like that's one of the easy things you can do to just make sure you're on the forefront without like copying too many things, like or just remaking someone's work. So obviously I'll do that, and then maybe sticking with like a certain time span. It's like 15 seconds, 20 seconds, making sure it's not too long. So there's some guidelines where I think it's good to take inspiration, and then staying fresh. I don't know if there's like a secret sauce to that one other than like once I hop onto a series, the big one being food. I think once I have the main series kind of figured out, that I'm like, okay, we did the making cartoon foods really realistic. I brought that one back because that was kind of the first time I did food. It was right after I was doing the cartoon characters. I'm like, what if I made like cartoon foods and just brought them in a reality, or brought them
like a realistic Krabby Patty? I think you made, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think I've done like a couple of those. So I did that, and I was like, these look kind of good. Like, I don't see why this has to be any different process-wise than making just actual food that exists.
Right.
And I started doing that, and I realized pretty quickly that everything was super. All these foods are so much more simple than you think when you're looking under the hood. It's like there's subsurface scattering, the procedural noises, or all that stuff, and like it's just using just the right amount of like absorption, color, and like texturing and lighting to make them pop in their own way.
What Octane textures are you using? Are you using just standard Octane textures? Or are you using?
Yeah, so I'm just starting pretty much all
universal nodes, or
they all start with the pretty much a composite texture. So I'll start every single one with a composite texture. Even if I'm only using one subtexture, submaterial to route in there, because I just like having the flexibility if I want to mix some certain stuff, like certain elements. But he's got it. Okay.
Have you tried the new standard surface materials in Octane? Is
that from the newest update?
Yeah, it is.
I don't think I have. I don't think I have the newest update yet.
So what's interesting about it is if you've used, that's kind of like the Arnold standard surface, and so and it's very simple. It's very easy to understand.
Right on. Is it so? It's like a completely different build. Oh god.
So good, man.
I know, these are great.
I mean.
Dude, and the funny thing is, I wasn't texturing their faces or anything much different than I'm texturing like chocolate or like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like it's all subsurface scattering and like just the right amounts of stuff and light bleeding out.
Yeah, that was going to be my question too. I keep saying that. Like in this one with Princess Bubblegum. A lot of concentration on the light. Like, you see the rim here on both sides. Are you doing anything special with the lights as far as exclusions, inclusions? No.
Yeah. No, I feel like my lighting game, at least at this point, now that I've gotten like a very good grasp and like routine of everything, is pretty simple. I'm using almost pretty much the same HDRI that I've shot, which is probably placement time. HDRI pack volume 1. So it's from one of my packs, and it's I've set up all my project files to where it's pretty much set up at the same position, and it's just one HDRI and then at most one area light, like a pretty massive area light that hits them from like a top down angle. And so when you get the HDRI giving them like the rim lights from every direction and everything, I feel like that makes them kind of pop. Yeah, they're boxed.
I thought
It's
that
just
was
like-
Bort
yeah.
Sampson at first, but it
Bort
was
Sampson,
Bort Sampson's mom.
Oh boy. Yeah, some people, especially the guys now, like the people following me now, they have no idea about this stuff. Like they don't know I was
Right.
first. You know?
Yeah. Gosh,
It
these
was
are great.
It was ridiculous.
Tell
Yeah,
us
they're
about
fun,
the
man.
setup too, because like you got pretty nice looking setup going here too. You know, everybody always
Thanks,
wants to
man.
know if they have your computer, then they'll be as good as you. So
It's all the computer. It's actually every one of my renders is Midjourney.
yeah, there you go.
Don't actually do anything. I just type cool render.
Funny.
I mean, I see you got
no,
the
the setup-
Cintiq and yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm repping the Cintiq Pro 24-inch
Nice.
Wacom. But the setup has been just like this gradual progression throughout really, I mean, straight up high school. The first part being these, can you see here? Yeah, the Yamaha HS8s here. I've had those since like junior high school. And they lasted so long. They're really dope speakers.
I got my Rocket 5 sitting here. I've had them for like 15
that.
years or
I got
something.
some JBLs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It works.
But
Jeez.
yeah, the setup originally started with like an iMac 27-inch, like 2012 or 2013 or something. So I was like chugging along with these renders. Like it was, when I'd say 7 hours a frame, that was not an exaggeration at one point. But,
Whew.
you know, just I got like 3 Dell monitors here. I need to find the exact models. Everything's on the Discord, by the way, like every model and everything. But this was a custom built workstation from the guys at Micro Center, and I'm like buddies with a bunch of the guys there at this point because I've been there so much. But my guy Lucas, we built this guy. Anytime I need like a part or anything like that, he's like, yeah, just come on. But I got two 3090s in here. I got, I think, 64 gigs of RAM and a Core i9. I got to figure out which exact model. I always forget this stuff. But that's kind of the bulk of it, and it just I got a ton of monitors at this point. You can't see from this angle, but I got like a TV screen mounted, which is actually hardwired in, going through the wall to the computer.
Nice.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I actually think the
Nice and
very
clean.
first time I chatted with you was like on TikTok or Instagram or something, and I said, "What kind of a desk is that?" It was in when I was in the market for a
really?
brand new desk. Yeah,
Yes. So
and I saw your
this is
setup,
a-
and I was super jealous of it because you
Right, this
specifically
is-
had, and that's what I wanted. I wanted a Wacom tablet. I wanted my Wacom tablet, you know,
Mhm.
in a good place, you know, which I do now. I have kind of the same setup as you, you know,
Right.
just
L shape? Is that an L
a
shape?
much bigger desk.
Right. Totally.
Yeah.
This is a Jarvis L-shaped desk by a company called Foley.
Mhm.
And I had their desk. It wasn't an L shape, but the last place I lived was the same company, but it wasn't L shape. I think it was just like a 70-inch, like just straight up desk. And I had prepped when I moved up to this place to have an L shape and have a place for the Cintiq and just all this stuff. And it's supposed to rise and lower, but when I got here about like 3 days after setting it up, it just like the motor wouldn't work. We tried to fix it. They sent out new parts. That never worked. But I had like rigged so many wires and had people come out to like cable manage and stuff for this desk that I'm like, this is just gonna be a stationary desk until I move. Like I'm not gonna like touch this thing. Like I'm not taking this stuff down.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff going on under the hood here. So
Yeah, my standing
I had a
desk
guy
is the
come out
same
and
way.
do-
It's stuck with the cables, you know.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
It's done.
I need to do some better cable management on this desk. Like it's just awful. I'm actually surprised everything runs because I have so much
Right.
plugged in here. You know.
And
Exactly.
having the Cintiq plugged in at all times, and I think you can see it in my. Can you see? Yeah. So the Cintiq plugged in here. I've got the extra keyboard that splits, so it's the same computer. So my whole thing was like, I don't want to have to ever pull out the Cintiq and set it up and do all that because I'll never do it, right? Like I want to learn how to use ZBrush, which is not going very well so far.
Yeah.
But even stuff like Substance, all I got to do is like slide over here, use the thing, and slide back because otherwise I'm not going to do it, you know?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That was good. It was nice to have this thing because I love this stand it comes with. I think it's called the Ergo stand. I think that's what it's called from Whack. I mean, it just like pulls up here and it snaps
Yeah,
when it
that
gets
is great.
So it's like it's a perfect little thing. And I also like it having this close because you can see me here, obviously. And then when I turn around, obviously this angle catches me, and then the other angle when I'm like streaming is like this guy, so you can
Oh, there
see.
you go. What's up?
So yeah, so that's the secondary angle, or at least when I'm streaming doing the sculpting stuff, and then I'll switch this if I'm going to
Nice.
that kind of stuff. So
As
yeah.
far as ZBrush stuff too, speaking of which, like what were some of the things you had to do to really get into ZBrush besides getting past the interface?
Good question.
You know, I think everybody
Yeah.
has kind of a hang up with that sometimes, you know?
I definitely had my hang up moment because, and I tell the guys on Discord a lot, when I started ZBrush, it was obviously super daunting. And I think I started trying to learn Substance Painter and ZBrush I downloaded the programs the same day, like 2 years ago or something like that, or 3 years ago. And it was this thing where I was like, okay, I kind of get, like, I'm sculpting. I could only really drag in like a sphere and like sculpt little eyes and like, okay, I think I got it. Like, don't really understand much else. But I got pretty discouraged early on, and eventually, like, I'd make some stuff, but I don't think I was making it the right way, or like the polygons weren't looking right. So I took like a 6-month break from ZBrush altogether at one point, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna stick with like the volume builder and mesher if I need to do some crazy shit. Even though under the hood it was just black, you can't see anything; it's just too dense.
Sure.
But then I was like, you know what, let me just start small. Maybe I can try some simple characters, like some Powerpuff Girl looking stuff. And really got into like what it was to like do polygroups and, you know, remesh and when to use Dynamesh. And once you figure out kind of like the right order to do stuff, it was much easier. And my second go around on ZBrush, I don't know when I passed like the hump of when it's like, all right, how the hell would I make this, to like, oh, easy, boom. That's why I say it's like once you're fluent in it, it's like you can kind of just like graze from thing to thing. And it's I don't know when that was exactly. Maybe like a year into it or something like that. Of, you know.
Did you watch a lot of sculptors and stuff? Like I've done a ton of C4D sculpting. You know, this was way before ZBrush was even a glimmer in their eye. You know, but I've done a bunch of C4D sculpting, and I found that like watching people sculpt, especially like faces and characters and stuff, I learned so much more from that. You know,
real
especially
faces or 3D faces?
Well, 3 faces, 3D faces. You know, but like especially as far as like anatomy goes, like. You know, cheekbones and chins and like where the Adam's apple is and like the veins here and stuff like that. I found that watching that gave me a better understanding of anatomy to where I was able to take that and run with it.
Totally. Yeah, I think, and I never, even though I was doing character work, I had never taken that like traditional approach or like took the classes on anatomy or anything like that, which is probably why the first types of characters I was making were botched, because like when you're making them botched, you're like, you can't be like, oh, they're like Adam's apple is in the correct location, like you're just like stretching everything so far and exaggerating everything. So I think I was killing two birds with one stone. I was making stuff that was super like gross to look at and like super like, you know, viral prone, and people were like, what is this? But also like I didn't have to worry about, oh, this vein goes exactly there, this cheekbone goes exactly there. And obviously since then I've definitely been able to familiarize myself with ZBrush more. And I'll probably be doing characters at some point again, but you know, lately I've been on this food grind, which is a whole nother thing, that's another reason why I like the food, because it's super it's not like a traditional human face where it's like, all right, this jaw goes here. It's like, oh, maybe the rice is clumped here, maybe it's clumped there. It's like it's up for more interpretation.
It is also a lot more marketable than botched characters.
I think it was Anna Carolina who was saying, like, you know, the reason so many people do aliens when they start out in ZBrush is because it doesn't have to look like anything, right? Well, it looks like that because it's an alien. You know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Also, we don't really know what do aliens actually look like.
That's
Right.
not like a real alien.
Exactly. But like, yeah, I mean, unless you're trying to get a job at like Meat Canyon or something like that, which by the way, he shared a few of the works, which was dope because I did a Meat Canyon series during the whole botched part of those works, which was fun. But he's probably like the gold standard for the botched characters, huh?
Yeah.
Saren asked to ask you about the post-production sauce that you put on it. Do you have a lot of posts that you do?
Sauce. So as far as posts, typically now I'll be bumping everything out as just like a transparent alpha or PNG, like a 16-bit PNG, and I like to stick to editing my renders like photos as much as I can because I started with like editing photos in Photoshop or Lightroom, Camera Raw within Photoshop, and I love the process of putting grain, doing stuff, making LUTs. But at this point, and the people on Discord have seen this a plethora of times, when I hop into Camera Raw, or like typically I'll take my transparent image, slap some kind of background, solid color, whatever, do some basic stuff in Photoshop, and then collapse it all into a smart object and throw it into Camera Raw. And I have probably I don't know exactly how many, but I gotta believe at least like 2,000 LUTs that I've built up over.
Wow.
Just making. So I'll do it daily, and then I'll choose from one of the LUTs that I've made previously, and I'm like, oh, this one kind of looks cool. I'll start with that, edit a bit, and then resave the LUT as whatever I'm making. So at this point, I just have a LUT for every daily, and I just literally slide past them until I'm like, ooh, that one works. Ooh, that one.
Man.
And that's kind of the process at this point for the daily. So it speeds up a lot. I don't have to put too much, like really start from scratch too often, and that's how it is.
It's cool.
So what's the next thing? What's the next one? What's the next series going to be? Or is it too early for that?
Well, here, I think one of the crazy things is there isn't that much, like, I know some artists that have like they got like the next like 3 weeks planned out as far as the content. They got this, they do a lot of pre-pro, a lot of prep work. I pretty much have zero pre-pro when it comes down to like the IG stuff or like the daily stuff. And I don't even know what I'm making until I hop onto the Discord.
Yeah.
Let alone the next series. So, obviously we're doing spin-offs of like the food. So we're doing the designer brands, but making them tasty.
I love the designer brands one. I think that's smart.
Appreciate it.
Get in good with the designer brands.
Yeah.
I feel like designer brands, they gotta have some money, Like it's not like they're, if anyone's gonna have just like unnecessary money, it's gonna be, the guy is charging $80,000 for a bag,
Yeah.
Yeah. Cursed foods like
matcha up to.
Yeah.
Yeah, all hard
so
surface stuff
good.
and little cloth stuff. And
Man. I dig it.
pretty
And do you
stuff.
have a set collection of materials, like go-to materials that you've created over the years?
Now it's my turn to take a break. I'll be back.
Go for it.
Oh yeah. Damn, I got a P2 actually, but I'm trying to hold it. What do you call it? That'd be weird if we all just left. We all went.
We have done that before. Nothing like a bunch of blank space to like really,
Exactly.
add to the excitement of the podcast.
Right. No, so it's the same. It's kind of the same thing. Like how I saved the LUTs for Photoshop Camera Raw. Sometimes I'll start with scratch if it's like a simple material or like a sauce or like cheese or something like that. But at this point, I have like a preset that I've made. I'm like, oh, I liked how this chocolate texture turned out, so I'll save that in the asset browser and then just kind of go with that, tweak the nodes a little bit, change the absorption color. So I got like some sauce presets, some like bun presets, chicken tender stuff, fried stuff at this point. Like they got this whole arsenal. So
have you released your own texture pack, your own food texture pack?
Dude, I have not. I'm so into the idea of that, but I've never even explored the idea of exporting Octane textures. Is that a thing?
I don't know. You could create.
Exactly.
You could create. A library, a C40 lib file. And easily bring that in. We've done that in the past.
Okay.
So,
That's
I
not
don't know,
a bad- I haven't
let's
explored-
chat after the show. We'll chat after the show.
Yeah, totally. I was even thinking at some point trying to do like a master class because the amount of times I've gotten hit up
Yeah.
about like when are you gonna make a food class or like a
Dude.
food. So I have ideas in my
We
head.
sell
about
classes.
making a
You want
piece.
to do one with us?
Shit, let's go. And, I've had ideas about just like how this would go and stuff. But essentially, maybe one day I want to release something that's like, okay, you take this class, you will know how to make photorealistic food.
Yeah.
So, I think there's a demand for it. I think it comes down to when some client work chills out, when stuff just in general chills out, and when I can kind of run it. But yeah.
It's rad. Super
You ever
rad.
think about doing like a short or anything?
Like, what do you mean?
Maybe like an animated.
Yeah, you got
film
like
short?
a film background, you know?
Right. So this is the craziest thing, and I don't even know the answer to this, but for whatever reason, I have not had much interest in anything motion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it's
Really?
not like my ideal projects are like, oh, making like a Snickers thing go like this, and it's like massive ad poster thing, like in some kind of like, or I don't know, or like a box design, like if Snickers releases like a box, and they're in Target or something like that, like the actual box art that's like doing like that would be like so cool for me.
Yeah.
A lot of times I'm working in settings where I'm shipping the project file off to like an agency and they animate my stuff.
Yeah.
But it's hardly ever me animating stuff unless it's like simple rotation stuff and it's like the addition to like a project I'm on.
I was gonna say, are you
yeah.
doing any print stuff? And like, and if it is, are you having to work CMYK? Having to deal with that?
Not yet, at least. Like I don't think I've had to do too many prints. I want to. So a lot of times I'm doing stuff for like social media or just keeping it in the digital realm. But a lot of people do hit me up. They think that it's very easily translated to like 3D printing, or some people think I draw, like just like
Oh.
paints.
Yeah.
So I get hit up about everything, man. I've had people think I just paint these by hand. I've had people think like a 3D printer. So it's pretty interesting, the stuff that comes through the door, the DMs and stuff.
Well, I
The
want
best
to.
with the DMs, they're just like, yo. I'm like, how do I respond to this?
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
You get those
Hey,
ones
how's
where
it
it's just
going?
Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
I get that.
There's
Hey,
some
how's
sort
it
of yo.
going?
right.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Hello,
Yes.
hi.
they're like, what's up?
Just sitting
Good,
here. What's
chilling.
up? What's your angle?
Like, nothing much. Nothing much. How about you? I'm like,
Yeah.
I just said I'm good.
Sorry, y'all. I just got an eBay alert that
Uh-oh.
Castlevania, Super Castlevania was, that was about to end. I had to make sure that I got it, which I
Yeah.
Let's
did.
go.
Very
Yeah.
exciting.
Matt's been getting into the hardcore like analog video game stuff.
Yeah, dude. I bought myself
Yeah.
a PVM, like the old school CRT PVM. I got a Nintendo hooked up to it. I got the Nintendo 64, and then I
Is it
just
bad
bought
that I don't know what PVM means.
professional video monitor. It's the old school
Oh.
CRT,
CRT,
professional video monitors. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it's like the ones that they used in the old school, like editing bays and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So the colors look
Dang.
great, and if I really wanted to, I could like mod it to go pure RGB out. Anyway,
Yeah.
I just bought a Super Nintendo and I need more games.
I bet.
Yeah.
gotta
Speaking
get
of which, well, we're gonna do a segment called Mograph Recommends. We're gonna ask you about some of your favorite things, including some stuff about video games and maybe some other things. I also wanted to open it up to the chat for questions in the meantime, so they can get questions in if they got questions for you.
Oh, no.
So we're gonna do talk to the audience. Ugh. We're gonna do.
I just know we got a lot of Discord boys in here.
There you go. A lot of new friends.
Here we go.
So we like to get an idea of some of your favorite things and maybe how it influences what you do. And we do Mograph Recommends. We ask questions about your favorite things, like favorite movie and whatever. Now, this doesn't have to be all-time favorite. This could be something that you recently saw that you're like really into or something. But we will start with your favorite movie.
Okay, I think if I had to choose favorite movie, it's gotta be either, and these seem like, at least going to film school, they said these were cop-out answers, but I'm just going to say it. Interstellar or Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those
Both
are
good
both
choices.
really good.
Yeah.
Both very similar storylines.
Are they?
No.
I was about
was
to
like,
say.
wait. Think about that.
Is this some like film critique that I don't know about? Yeah, no.
This is some inside joke.
Right? Like how all the stories, all the hero stories are just like rehashed versions of Star Wars. You know, like Harry Potter is just Star Wars.
It's true.
You know.
Exactly.
Oh.
Well, I say all like the great stories. It's like they have an internal. What was this? I may have forgotten already. It was like the external goal will conflict with the internal desire. So like if you any really good movie, it's like, you know, Interstellar, they're trying to be happy with his family, but he has to to save his family, he has to leave them. you know?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
man,
yeah.
that's so that gets me every time.
Dude,
Right?
that
Yeah.
movie is very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
My
Every
wife
time.
won't watch it because, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like she's never
Yeah.
seen it?
No.
Why?
She doesn't. Space stresses her out.
Oh. Okay.
You know, and then there's like a slight time travel, you know, thing with it, and she doesn't like time travel. She's never seen Arrival either, you know, which
Right.
I don't know if y'all have seen Arrival.
Mhm.
Arrival is fantastic.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Why Wolf of Wall Street? I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the movie. I thought it was so good.
The lewds,
you know?
man.
I think it was just strictly the lewds. Strictly,
Yeah.
nothing
Lewds.
else.
That freaking scene is great.
I don't know. I think it was just how exaggerated everything was. Even though I don't think it was too exaggerated from how Jordan Belfort actually lived. But
Yeah.
I feel like it's just everything. They shot it so well, and everything was just like, damn, this lifestyle looks so sick. Like just laughing. It's like the classic like dope lifestyle that like maybe on screen looks super dope, but like it'd be a
Right.
lot in real life.
Right.
But the way they portray it is just like, damn, this is all so sick.
Yeah.
I love when he's incapacitated and he's trying to get down the stairs.
Right.
And it's like the longest stairs ever, and then they cut to a wide shot and it's like 5 stairs.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, it's so
So
good.
good.
If you can have like a rom-com night with your wife and then just make it be Interstellar.
Interstellar.
Yeah.
just be like, no, this is the rom-com, and just don't tell her.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, what about TV show?
TV show. Ooh. I feel like I only watch TV shows if I'm in like an active relationship, because that's something that gets me to watch them.
Yeah.
So, what was the last TV show I saw?
No
Like
particular series.
Love is Blind or something. I think I saw that. That's good.
I haven't watched that.
Breaking Bad or The Wire. You know how it goes.
I watched some
that-
Love
yeah,
on the Spectrum, you know. It's kind of weird, but, you know.
I'll try it out.
Or Love, Death, and Robots.
Love, Death, and Robots.
Yeah, I
is
did see.
beautiful.
Yeah.
That was
Wow.
a beautiful show.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Music.
Music. Usually I'm like a big. I'm pretty much everything but country, and there's a couple country songs I
I
like,
get
but
that.
I grew up on like Logic, John Bellion. Obviously Drake. I think Drake was my like Spotify most played this year.
Mhm.
It's just how it is. Like the guy
Me
just
too.
throws bangers. Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird.
There
And
you
I
go.
just really got into Drake like last year. Like not
Oh, really?
before that. Yeah.
I mean,
like,
I've never seen anything like
yeah.
it. He just banger after banger.
mm-hmm.
Even if you don't like the guy, it's just
Yeah.
bangers. They go to the top.
Yeah. Logic is great too. A lot of my
Yeah.
running music is Logic.
I think he got sued by Apple originally, like for the name Logic Pro.
Oh, really?
Really?
Is that where he got the name?
I think
from?
originally. No, well, he's had it for so long, but like at the very beginning of his career, I think they gave him a hard time about that. But I think
They can't sue him. It's a different thing. It's like
Yeah.
Well,
Logic
right,
is
yeah, I don't know.
a program, and he is a artist.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
I
why
don't
he
know.
won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why that's still his name.
Yeah.
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 Now, if he added pro to the end,
Yeah.
no, I don't know about that.
If you added Pro X,
Right.
then they got
Yeah.
a problem. They got a problem.
Do you find it hard to listen to music while you're working? Like if it has lyrics, do you have like different music you listen to for work mode?
Definitely.
Like a chill hop or something, or
Yeah, so we'll be doing this in the Discord too. I pretty much I found out I can't work really well when there's like lyrics in it unless it's really soft or something. But like no rap, no lyrics. It's pretty much like lo-fi or classical music. Just like, you walk into the place, you'd think I'm like Beethoven or something.
Yeah,
but
I noticed the
just stuff
classical
like that.
music. I did enjoy it. I was on a big classical kick for years.
It makes you feel fancy, and you just
Right.
make the stuff and you're vibing out.
Right.
Nothing wrong with it.
Drink your Mountain Dew with your pinky up.
Do splash of lime or
Right.
splash of wine. Found it.
Right.
Yeah.
what I've been doing lately is I love the feel that Barton Damer has at his office. You got that hip hop going kind of in the background, right? So, but it's not really loud.
Right.
So I'll go in and I got decent speakers and stuff. So what I'll do is I'll turn up the bass, but I'll turn down the volume. So you kind of got that low.
Interesting. Oh, okay.
going.
Like that subwoofer effect, kind of.
Yeah. You feel like you're in a
Nice.
shoe
That's dope.
store. I'm in a Foot Locker.
It always sounds like you're like 2 rooms away from what's going on.
Yeah.
It's just like
Right.
yeah.
I dig the vibe. It's
Oh, yeah.
nice.
I gotta try that. I actually had to do the opposite. I had to turn off the low end because the neighbors were like they heard it. I think the next room here is like a bedroom or something. So it wasn't the volume at all. It was just the bass. So
You just
and I'm
get
wearing
the
headphones,
hi-hats.
so, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Do you ever listen to any like podcasts or talk while you're working? Well, I guess not, since the talk is distracting. But
Yeah, not while I'm working. I mean, every once in a while I'll watch like Impulsive or like the Full Send podcast. But even then, I'm not. If I see it pop on, I'm not like I'm not really a big podcast guy. Probably should be.
Yeah.
some people can do it, some people can't.
Yeah.
I can listen to audiobooks and stuff while I'm doing something else, and it's weird. If I hear it again, I will remember what I was doing at that time. Visually, like, oh, I was driving when I did that.
100%,
When I heard
yep.
that, it's weird.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe I'll get into. I feel like you guys got a good podcast. Seems like you got really good guests.
It's pretty good, I guess.
We've had a few.
just a couple.
Yeah.
We've had a few good guests.
Yeah.
A handful.
Do we have one today?
Yeah, coming up.
Yep. Coming up
let's
later
go.
on today.
Oh. Okay.
Now,
that's good.
without mentioning a render engine, what would your favorite plugin be?
Ooh, plugin. Way back in the day, I would have said like Top Coat or one of those from Grayscale. Because I grew up, I'm like, ooh, this is really dope and makes it fast. Without a render engine, probably like maybe Forester. I don't
That's
even think
good.
I use many plugins anymore. Like I don't
good.
think
Yeah.
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 it's been a while since I've used one. I think.
Have you done any
think of-
particle stuff, like X particles or anything like that?
I did used to use X Particles a lot. Actually, maybe I should say Ornatrix. That was the last one I was using a lot for like character hair and stuff. Ornatrix.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really dope. It's so much. It's really fast.
And I think
So
I know
Ornatrix.
the answer to this too, but muscle memory on your phone. Pick up your phone. What do you click? What's the one app you're always in?
Either maybe at this point like Instagram or Discord, because I do have the Discord app. So anytime I get like a notification on there or something, I'll pop there. Yeah,
And here's the video games. Do you play video games?
I used to a ton.
What did you play?
Okay.
What's your favorite?
When I say like back in the day, I'm talking like Halo 3, Call of Duty,
Yeah.
Black Ops 2. That was the last time I was really into it. And then I got a little bit into it when Fortnite came out. But I have not been like engulfed in video games. I like watching them at this point more. Like if my friends come over or something and we're playing, like I'll watch. I want to watch it more than actually. Like I remember we used to watch Nazi Zombies back in like middle school. That was probably the golden era of gaming for me. Like just watching the boys like just go nuts from Nazi Zombies.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
Good question in the chat. What are you eating after all the delicious food renders? What's your favorite food?
What am I eating? Well, I do this meal prep thing. I have this like local lady drop off once a week, bunch of these meal preps. So it's like salmon on a bed of rice, like noodle dishes, and it's super easy because especially with like how the streams I get off at like 10:30, and then I'll do like client work. So I'm not in the mood to be like making food or like Uber Eating stuff, which also takes a while.
Yeah.
So I kind of pop those in.
Is that like a paid service that like
Yeah. Well, no, it's literally just like this lady. Like she's like a local, like I think she's just like a mom that just like makes foods that just like I reached out on this Facebook Marketplace thing. I'm like, any meal prep chefs? And yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Amazing. Is it expensive?
No, it's like 8 meals a week for like $120. Not bad.
Not
bad at
all. Oh.
Yeah. Also, I'm about to pop. Can I like?
Yeah, go.
Yeah, go.
Like drinking this drink. I'll be right back.
Yeah, we know how it goes. So in the meantime, I will say, if you're new here, there's a lot of new people in the chat today. So
yeah, I mean that's why we bring cool people like Patrick over so that we can steal their audience.
Because we're not.
He's
cool
not
enough.
here right now, so he doesn't have to hear this.
That's right. If you
unless he still has his headphones on.
Yeah, he's listening as he pees.
Right.
Yeah, I'll mention it now instead of at the end of the show. If you would like to check out Mograph TV, if it's mograph.com/TV, or if you want to go to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Mograph, you can check out our 24/7 live streaming motion graphics channel. There's always something new running around on there from either us or Chris Schmidt or Maxon or who else do we have on there? We've got
Winbush. Do we have
Winbush?
some
Winbush is
stuff?
on there. Jags.
Some Aaron
Sarofsky. You've got some of the art streams from Isaac. And who else was I just thinking that I didn't want to forget? Andy Needham.
Andy Needham.
Andy Needham. Plain Arts podcast is on there. Did I skip anybody? I think that's it. There's quick tips, all this stuff. 24/7 Mograph. And you can also check out mograph.com/classes. Our biggest class being Stop Being Afraid of Houdini with Houdini Mark. He works at Already Been Chewed in Dallas. You've also got 2 Unreal courses, one by another guy at Already Been Chewed, Brandon Clements, and then Winbush has a course on there as well. And yeah, he's still peeing.
Yep.
You got anything you want to plug, Matt? You got a new
And
YouTube?
I was wearing the headphones.
Nah, you were.
There you go.
I had a feeling that would be the case.
Oh yeah.
Matt,
So
you gonna be
wild.
streaming
the
some
biggest
video
thing-
games?
The biggest thing that I
Jesus.
want to plug is, just make sure and sign up for the newsletter because we have major announcements coming soon and we're very excited about it. So just please sign up for the newsletter. I am hoping this is industry changing.
Matt, are you going to do
News.
a video game streaming anytime soon? Are you going to start that?
I want to.
A Mario
Here's
action?
here's the thing with the video game streaming stuff. It's like, what do I take the time away from? Who do I take the time away from?
Just stream it when you're playing. I mean, you're
my job.
already playing.
Well, see, the
live
thing is, like,
podcast.
Yeah.
I do sometimes keep it on. I'll keep it on and just as I'm like rendering or when I take like a 5-minute break, I'll just go and I'll play a level or something like that, which is really fun. Especially now that I've got the Super Nintendo, like playing a level and taking a break is so much easier than just throwing in Mario 1 and having to hit pause and then being like, okay, where am I again? Versus Mario where you can go all around the map and such, I don't know. But I would love to do streaming like that, video game streaming. It'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
I
I'd like to
It's
plug
definitely-
mine too, because I haven't plugged mine at all in the show. So Zeta.art is where I've been putting like my short films. You can get to my TikTok there, Mograph Dave and Zeta Renders and all that. All the links are on Zeta.art, so you can get to my account. But I've been doing TikToks on like breakdowns and stuff. So
Yeah, cool stuff.
I realized I haven't.
I gotta
really
get you on
mentioned
TikTok.
that. Yeah.
Here's the thing. The podcast is the only thing that the only way I put myself out there. And it is mostly because I used to be a huge extrovert where I loved like being out and like talking to people. I still do love going out and talking to people and stuff, but like I was completely okay putting myself at the face of everything and whatever. And then you get really bullied, and and like people try and cancel you or whatever, and then you like I closed myself off from it. This is the only thing that I do. I don't as much as I would love to do TikTok and stuff like that, and I think I would be good at it.
You would be good at it. That's the thing.
I would. I just don't. I don't take criticism well. I take it very bad. It hurts me.
I would love to see you do some TikTok.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I really would.
I don't know.
I think you would come up with some really great ideas, Like, yeah.
Yeah.
It would.
Yeah.
It could be about Mario.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
But the thing is, everyone does stuff about Mario, and then you got like.
And then Tokyo Megaplex is going to be upset. If you get it wrong.
I follow a guy called Video Game Restoration. I'm not sure if y'all have seen him on TikTok. He's great. He started off just like playing video games and stuff, and then he started like restoring old school video games and stuff. So I've used a lot of his techniques actually on this Super Nintendo that I got. A lot of the games weren't working, so he's got this technique where if you take it apart and then you take an eraser, and you erase the pins on the bottom of the game, it cleans it off and like
the copper
makes
corrosion.
It just
Yeah.
So then you pop it in, works instantly.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Like
Wow,
I don't know. I enjoy.
I always did the toilet flush.
The toilet flush? What is that?
Did you never do that with like the CD games? Like the
No. What is that?
Wow, maybe that was a Midwest thing. We would take like a Xbox game, if it was like Scratch or something, we just throw it in the toilet and flush, and it just doesn't go down because it's too big, but it like cleans it, and then you just like take it out and put it back in.
Cleans it.
That's the thing. Oh wow. Okay. Well, it worked.
All the poo particles
Yeah.
fill in all the gaps.
Well, it wasn't right after we went to the bathroom. It was like we would flush before. Yeah. So we wouldn't just
Yeah, give it a courtesy flush first. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on. We're not gross out here. Come on.
That's funny. That's really funny.
Oh, yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Is that your life hack, or do you? Because the next question is a life hack.
Yeah.
Damn. What was?
Our example
Is
is
that
always
word
that you turn the toaster on its side for some bomb ass grilled cheese. That's Mitch Myers. That's his life hack.
Turn it on the side?
Yeah,
I
you
don't
turn
know
your
if it would
toaster on
work.
its side and you can make grilled cheese in the toaster.
Oh, I thought you meant take the grilled cheese and put it on its side.
Oh,
I'm like,
upright. It tastes
isn't
better
that just
upright.
the same thing, only like just.
If you eat it long ways, it tastes better.
Yeah.
Are you triangles or rectangle?
Oh man.
Oh, I'm triangles. No
I mean,
question.
I'm full piece.
Interesting.
Really. I don't.
Oh yeah. No, triangles. You got to start off with that corner.
Piece.
You got to start off with the corner.
Oh, so you don't cut it. You just.
Yeah, just eat it. Now I will triangle. I'll triangle my burger.
Oh no! See, I don't triangle a burger.
That's
Think about it.
But I will tell you what I do. I turn my burger upside down. I actually eat it upside down
that's a good
because
thing.
they put the cheese on top of the burger. So when you turn it upside down, you actually get the cheese bite first, and it tastes better.
I think your next render needs to be like that. Your next food render needs to be an upside
I'm
down.
feeling
burger.
a lot better about my toilet hack thing now.
Yeah.
People are saying this stuff. Yeah.
So what is your life hack then?
To your life hack.
Damn, I was gonna say something much more serious. Damn.
It can be
You
though.
can.
It can
Oh,
be.
absolutely. Yeah.
I was gonna I feel like, and maybe this because I'm an extrovert, it just as far as like when you're at like a restaurant or in the elevator or whatever, like I'm the guy that's always like, hey, how you doing? Like saying stuff, and like that's led to so many random things instead of just being. And I know for artists it can be tough because a lot of times we're closed off and kind of like, focused on our thing. We're not gonna talk to them unless they're talking to us. But I think that's why like I had such a weird mix of like all my friends from like high school were like either like jockey or fratty, and I was like the art guy coming like in my friend group. And so when I was at SCAD, it was so funny because I was almost like the guy
jock.
that was not arty. Yeah,
Yeah.
not like jock, but like
Right.
I did play baseball in high school, not to brag, but no, it was just funny because like in the art school setting, I was like not like overly artsy, like, and I was like the extrovert guy that was could talk and stuff. But yeah, just being able to talk and also being able to like just have confidence in like posting your work is. I don't know how I would find so many great artists at SCAD, and they just were like, "Yeah, I don't think it's good."
They're
enough
very
to
protective
like,
of their work. There are
right.
a lot of artists who are extremely protective of their work, you know, and I think that's why you get a big hate on the AI art stuff because they're using their art in order to program it. You know, it's like, oh, you're stealing my art in order to make more art like me. You know, it's like, yeah, I've known so many people are so protective that they won't even show it. You know, they won't put it out there. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
You know,
or they don't know the power
art and what people appreciate is art isn't solely dependent on what type of art that they see. If your art is not out there for people to see, you know, you will not influence artists in the future.
Yeah, and I know it's easier said than done, but I feel like if you don't have any haters, like you're just not popping. If you're not, you know, that's literally you want people.
Then I am very popping.
That's a Logic line. That's a line from Logic. Even Jesus had haters.
Well, there you go.
That's one of Logic's. Yeah. See. So
he had a ton of haters.
Put it out there. You know. Let's go to the questions. There were quite a bit of questions, I believe, here. So, can you show us Node Editor? That was one of. I don't know which Node Editor they speak of. We don't see. This is mostly an audio show.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are watching live from your audience, but most people listen to our show on audio. But we can talk about it for sure.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'd love to see you try out some of those.
Are you gonna pipe it in somehow? We'll see how this goes.
Oh snap!
Take a screenshot. Go.
There you go. That's it. That's the whole thing.
All right, there you go.
Is this a secret? Are we not allowed to see it?
That's literally the secret sauce.
Oh man.
That's how I make every single food material. So that is the. No, I'm just fine.
Let's see what else we got here. Okay. Oh, I'm hearing myself all of a sudden in my.
Yeah, it's been happening occasionally. See, I hear myself too.
Just all of a sudden.
I do not hear an echo.
It's coming back. Is it you, man?
Yeah.
Oh, we're good.
Me.
We're good. No, we're not.
Wow, we're getting like some really mixed feedback. We got Pat is nicer to us when Matt is in the Discord, and then also Pat is a chill dude, hosts a great Discord server.
Is that true? Are you nicer to everyone when I'm in there?
Yeah, I'm a really bad person when it's just us in there. I'm like a really bad person. Like you don't want to be.
Let's see what else here. Yeah, it's coming back.
Survival of the fittest in there.
I think it happened whenever you brought up the Node Editor.
Oh.
There's something with audio on it.
Maybe that's why we hear it and you don't.
Yeah, because you're not echoing.
It's something I did?
Yeah,
maybe.
I think so. It might be.
My bad.
Does your Node Editor have a? There it goes.
Yeah, it's gone. Did you do anything?
Did you do anything, or
I
is
just closed the Node Editor.
Oh, weird. The
Well,
Node
I did
Editor
that
has
after
audio.
you said it was fixed, but
Yeah, we're good. All right.
That's a good question. What floor do you live on?
I live on 21.
Nice.
Am I about to get doxxed?
That's 9 plus 10, right?
I'm about to get swatted like in here, like we're gonna have a bunch of people. I'm about to get a knock at the door.
Let's see. Did Patrick ever get into the NFT craze? Did you ever do a drop?
Yeah.
Never did drop. I was messing around with some stuff in what do you call it? Like I got a bunch of people were sending me like foundation links when that shit was like super exclusive and stuff. But what I did get was a bunch of like people hitting me up for just like commission works of like, oh, can you like design us like what do you call it? Like a look dev of like a character or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I did take advantage of that. I was like, I'm gonna treat this as a job. And I never took any jobs that were like, we'll give you like crypto or we'll do you'll be part of the drop. Like to me I was kind of just like I think it was just because I was so used to the I'll get paid a little bit up front for like commission work, or if it's like agency work, it's a little bit different. But I was like, as long as I can just structure this as like a regular job and I don't have to do this crazy like, oh, maybe we'll get a crypto, maybe we'll sell out and this and that. And hindsight, I'm glad I guess I did, because I know a lot of people getting in trouble these days for a bunch of crypto stuff and just like scams and
the scams are really heavy. Like
at
least once a day I'll get something on Twitter or Instagram someone, no, buy this NFT or join this NFT
Yeah.
space, and
Does that
it's
ever
like,
really work?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Like once a day, I'm scamming someone.
All right, this one here, Mary F. Kill, Maya
Oh.
Cinema Blender. Wow.
Oh, that's a good one.
They put
Wait,
it
where is
differently. I did the classic. They said kill, kiss, marry.
Oh, okay.
Where? Oh, where were the options?
Blender, Cinema, and Maya,
Yeah.
right?
Blender, Cinema, Maya.
It's tough.
Yeah, you tell your. No, I know exactly. I mean,
I would say, for me, kill Maya just because I don't use Maya in any capacity.
Mhm.
Blender I at least have on my computer, like it's there.
One night
but-
stand.
Well,
Yeah.
same. Me too. Yeah.
So I'd probably one night stand Blender.
Yeah.
Take him to Outback or something, and
Yeah.
then
Nice steak dinner.
Cinema, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm already married to
See,
Cinema. I feel like.
I'm Mary Cinema, kill Blender, and then have a
See,
one night stand
I would
with
kill
Maya,
Maya
because
for the
I
interface.
I like older women. So
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes
Okay.
sense. All right.
Okay.
Let's
Yeah.
see. Favorite Starbucks coffee?
Starbucks coffee. Oh, I'm a reserve cold brew with soy milk guy.
All right.
all right.
Okay.
Yeah, so I happen to live across the street from, like, the closest Starbucks is a Starbucks Reserve, so they got the nice little coffee joints with the
Oh,
extended.
that's a good. Should have been Blender, Cinema 4D, and ZBrush. That would have made it a little bit harder.
Blender Center. Ooh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Right.
Ooh, that would have been tough. Yeah, because for me, that's an easy one. That's
Yeah.
never in the pipeline.
Let's
Shout out
see.
somebody.
Some of these we already addressed. Can you give Blender a chance?
Give Blender a chance.
It says,
I was like,
Pat, what you like in your Merc? I don't know what that is. Hopefully that's
Where?
not.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
wait,
What you
where
like
is
in
it?
your
I don't
Merc?
even know.
Oh, this
Oh.
is a ways back.
You might be talking about Mercedes.
All we are saying,
Let's
I
see.
posted a
give
story
Blender
that-
a
flat tire.
chance.
We got to what floor do you live on? We got that.
Yeah,
And
It's your social security.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think we got through.
Give me your bank account information.
Yeah, they got the floor you live on.
What's your MetaMask?
Yeah.
Alright, what's your brother's middle name?
Yeah, with your first pet. Awesome. Awesome.
Vertical mouse, I see. By the way.
Yeah, I was gonna mention
Just
that.
switched. I'm testing it out. I
Yeah?
gotta with some recent client projects. I've just been on here a lot, and so I had they're in the other room, but it was the MX Master 3, I believe. Logitech. I love that one, but then I had this problem where I was literally, like, my hand here up was like numb, and I'm like, that probably isn't a good thing. It didn't hurt, it was just numb. So I was like, and then I got this thing called Delta Hub, which is just like this little thing that goes behind it. It gives you just enough support to where it's up and it's not. And that fixed the problem, I think, but you always got to make sure it's under your hand, and it's a little bit cumbersome. And so I just, like, a few days ago, just got this, and I'm trying it, and obviously it alleviates the wrist. And
Delta Hub.
it almost introduced another problem, though, because I'm very prone to getting a clammy, sweaty hands, and, like, with this, the way I'm gripping this, it gets a little bit, like, hot and sweaty. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just not used to it.
What is the Delta Hub?
Can't have it all. Here, the Delta Hub is. I think it should be. I go grab it real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let's see. What are the other questions here? Oh, Merc means Mercedes.
Oh.
I'm
it
not in
does?
the know. Sorry.
I thought it meant mercenaries.
We'll ask him about his Mercedes, and then, do you like to feed ducks at the pond? Chris.
All right, so we got the. I'll feed ducks. I won't feed the goose. I was raised not to feed geese.
Mean.
We're
Is it
fishing
because
and
they're the
stuff.
Canadian geese? Because you were.
Because they were like
Yeah.
they were like the bullies of the ducks, at least where my
Yeah.
grandma lives.
They're
So
mean. The
Screw
Delta
geese.
Hub. Also,
Um,
being in Atlanta, it's extra special because it's a Delta Hub. right? Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Yeah.
so true. Maybe I should do a deal with Delta and just a very weird sponsorship deal.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know what we have to do with this, but it's Delta Hub. Yeah, this guy. It's like a little ergonomic. I feel like it's 3D printed or something. Here's the old mouse. Then I'd have this. Usually it's like that, and then I'll put it here. That gives you just enough support.
Oh.
Interesting.
Okay. Okay.
It does fix the problem, but
Yeah.
I think Logitech should license this technology and like have it just like there.
Yeah.
It's like attached to the actual thing. That would be really dope.
Still be better designed than the Apple mouse.
Oh my gosh, the worst design.
What, like the Magic Mouse or something?
Yeah, with the plug on the bottom, you have to
The
turn it
plug's
upside down.
on the bottom.
Still like that, huh?
Yeah, like right there, So if you want to charge it, you can't
Turn
use
it upside down. Yeah.
Thanks. They do have that one case, right? Did you see that where you can just fit it in and it like actually gives you this shape? And so you just push it into this mold.
That's
And it
interesting.
gives you,
Oh,
like,
interesting.
this. Yeah.
Huh.
I saw it on some tech review channel literally yesterday.
I had a wireless mouse charger for a Magic Mouse for a really long time, and I'd always just make sure to place it on there after I was done working. But then you'd come to your desk the next day and have forgotten to place it on there, and then your mouse is dead, and you're like, it's like I'm using a wired mouse for the day.
Like a poor person.
Like a poor person.
Yeah, I wish Logitech would come out with one like a mat that doesn't Corsair have some stuff where like charges while you use the mat or something?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what-
I know.
yeah.
Actually,
So
that is
cool.
Logitech. Logitech. It used to be. It's called the Power Bank
Pad?
Power Pad or something. Yeah. Hold on. I had it for a really long time. Logitech. Power
Pad.
Play.
It
Power
wouldn't
Play.
work with this though, would it?
No. You have to have a specific wireless, but it is. I loved it. I loved it while I had it, but the problem was that the Power Play would work, but then my mouse would die, and I'd have to buy a whole nother mouse, and it comes with like a little wireless thing that you got to put in here and stuff,
Okay.
similar to where the weights are.
Power Play.
But like, yeah, then eventually, but I mean, the thing is, the Power Play still has, it still has a wire on it. It's just your mouse is always charged at all times.
Mhm.
It was a pretty.
Interesting.
I really liked it. I really liked it while I had it. But I go through mice like crazy, and I didn't want to spend another $120 on a mouse every year because I abuse the hell out of it. So I just ended up just getting a wired mouse. Of the
That makes
same
sense.
style. For
Yeah. Have you seen
30 or
have you seen
40
the ones
bucks.
with like? Have you seen the ones with a fan in it?
a
It like
fan?
blows air on your hand, so it's like doesn't overheat. Like
No.
yeah. And it's like a mesh,
Fishy.
like a plastic mesh mouse. So it's like just.
I
holes
have
in it,
seen
and
the
then it
mesh
blows
mice.
air.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's fun.
I would love that.
Man, that's for them big sweaty dudes, right?
Yeah. I'm a skinny, sweaty dude.
Right.
Well, I don't see any other questions unless you wanted to address what you like in your Mercedes.
And the,
Do you have a Mercedes?
I guess the lights. Yes.
Okay.
All
All right.
Ground effects.
No,
giant
no.
rims.
Is that the one where like it splashes light on the ground and stuff?
Yeah, the ground effects, making it look like your car's a spaceship. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the inside kind of does. It's got the cool lighting in the inside, but yeah, I guess the lighting is my answer to that. Not the tires because I have a flat currently. It's being serviced. Yeah.
Cool. Well, tell us where people can find you on the interwebs. If they want to talk to you, reach out, maybe hit up your Discord, all the things. How can they talk to you?
They can check. Yeah, that's my buddy. That's my best buddy from back in my hometown, Ian. Shout out to Ian.
Which one? Fellow big sweaty
Fellow big
dude?
sweaty dude.
Yeah,
check
fellow big dudes. Check it in. Oh yeah, buddy's like 6'7", 275, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, he's a big dude. He always sweats. But no, yeah, it's the IG obviously is Patrick_4D. That's like where most of like probably 90% of the people find my stuff. And then obviously I have this. I think it's the same handle for TikTok, and the other thing is probably just the assets that I have on p4d.store. So like 3D assets, HDRI, stuff like that. And then the Discord is where we're all chilling. So I think it's discord.com/p4d or something.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes,
Or in person too. Hang out in person, You're going to be at NAB, is that right?
Yes, NAB in Vegas. I don't know which day I'm actually flying in yet, but I think I'm going to try to stay the whole event. I'm figuring that part out now, but I'm super pumped about that. That'll be like a live making of stuff. That'll be really fun.
That'll be fun.
And
That'll
then
be really fun.
Dope.
we'll have to have you on our panel when we hit up Atlanta later in the year on the tour.
Yeah.
We got it, man. That'll be so fun.
Yeah.
I'm always.
Are we hitting up
you guys
Atlanta?
You guys are a
Is
blast.
Atlanta one of our stops?
I believe so, because we'd like
All right.
to talk to SCAD people.
Oh, that's
Well,
right.
now you
yeah.
have to because you said it publicly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Too late now. Can't go
Yeah.
back.
Too late.
That's right.
Well, we
Yep.
appreciate you doing the show with us.
Yeah, man.
And
Appreciate it, guys.
taking the time. I know it's kind of a big block of a Monday, so we appreciate that. And one last question before we leave. This is the one. What is your big motivation to keep modeling every day?
That's a good one.
Big motivation to keep. I think my favorite part of the day, honestly, is just waking up. Like the first thing I think about.
What
is
time
just
do you
like-
wake up?
Typically in between. Lately, 5:30 and 6:30.
And you
So,
don't have
let's see.
kids.
I got 5.
You have 5 kids?
No, I'm just playing.
Oh, that's to say.
No kids yet that I know of, at least. Yeah, no kids. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And it's funny. I think my best part of the day is like right when I'm getting that like caffeine buzz. I hop up, I go to this coffee spot right downstairs after a shower, and by the time I come back up, I'm like, it's the initial buzz, and I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
And working from home, like that's why I don't like make my own coffee and stuff. Like I have to like leave and then re-enter the workplace.
Gotcha.
Like a mindset
I like
thing.
that. I like
makes
that.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
What's your big
First sip,
motivation?
you know.
What's the big motivation?
Oh, big motivation. I think just coming up like and figuring out what the next render is. It's that simple. It's like I'm so in tune with just like the series at this point. I'm like, oh, okay, what's the chocolate of the day, or what's the design collab of the day, and then getting to do it live with the guys on Discord and just talking to them. That's another fun thing. Like since everyone's mic is live, it's
Yeah.
not just like people typing. It's people actually like talking and stuff most of the time.
Yeah.
So shout out to the guys on Discord making it super litty all the time.
Awesome.
Caca.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we're gonna get out of here. You can rate us on iTunes, leave a review on your,
Oh, yeah.
subscribe on your podcatcher of choice and stuff. You can say you've been there, done that, got the T-shirt with the Mograph logo tee, the Paul Babb Feel the Bab 2020 shirt. All the profits from that go to Doctors Without Borders. The Render Things T-shirt, hoodie, long sleeve tee, Mograph blandishment shirt, and the That Render is Fire shirt, which you are only allowed to wear ironically, unless you're shams.
Unless you're shams.
Yes.
Photoshop it right here.
Yep.
It's just plain black tee.
There you go. And also, we're on youtube.com, mograph.com. Make sure you turn on that Mograph TV and rip the knob off. We're going to have a little commercial break when we go back to the local affiliates.
I love how you put
And then-
YouTube.com. Like,
What's that?
as if someone would have done YouTube.gov or like .org.
.org/gov/
.com/.
Mograph.com/TV. I believe that if you're not watching it, this stream will move over to it, because after the commercial break, we'll be replaying our fuck render episode. That's coming
Did you just
up.
swear?
That's a good one.
Frederick Duquette.
That's his
You
name.
just swear?
Frederick Duquette.
Right?
Yeah.
He's a good guy. I like that guy. I haven't met him
yeah. He's
Fred's
good
great.
people.
I love that
digital, I
guy.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to get out of here. Until next time, I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt.
I'm Patrick.
Have a good one.
Later, yo.
Later, guys.
Stay on with us real quick here. A little outro here for a second.
Swear yet?
You can swear anytime.
Yeah.
Okay. That's when I get canceled on a Monday. I hate Monday.